Good morning, Vietnam.
What's up, guys? Sorry we're a little late.
It's
Just a few hours
but it's
late.
not. It's
not
only
all
8
that late.
p.m.
The earliest post-game podcast we have ever done.
It is.
Beautiful.
Just to get this going, right now we are live from the 5th floor of Fondren Library on the beautiful campus of SMU, and you are listening to the Mustang Mood podcast.
Yeah.
How about the ponies?
Dadgummit.
Come on, Walker.
It's rookie error right there.
Rookie mistake.
Oh, man. So what did y'all think about that game?
I liked how we scored more points than
a
the
little bit. It was
Couldn't have said it better
Did I say
myself.
that?
I just want to start off by saying I never wavered. I fully trusted that we were going to win the game. I only said GG once.
That's not true.
That's
That's not true.
not true.
I was very up and down in the press box, guys. I was a little
Ben
negative.
was calling for us to cancel our Airbnb in
Yes.
Was.
Charlotte.
Yes. What
Yeah.
else? I was saying that I might. leave,
I'm
not
not
gonna
going to
say
say the other
everything. We're
things
not
you were
gonna say
saying.
I almost left a couple times. I gave up.
And
I
that's
believed. I gave up.
that's why we call it the Mustang Mood. This moody boy right here.
He sure is moody.
He
Yeah.
was as up and down as the team was throughout the game.
Mm.
But anyways, the boys are back.
Mm.
We're all together.
Yeah,
We are.
all
Yeah,
four of us.
And it's been 2 weeks. We've got Ben, Walker, Jay, and Yonnic here
Yep.
hosting the show. Yeah, it's been a while since it's been all 4 of us together, I feel like.
yeah,
And it's been 2 weeks
Yes.
since we've done a show. We took the bye week off.
yeah.
Yes.
But yeah, we got a lot to talk about.
We do. I want to start off with our ponies tonight. A 38-28 win over Boston College. A little revenge. What was the Taylor Swift song of the day?
Let me get
We
back
have to
to you on
look
that. I've not been on top of stuff today.
But the ponies beat Boston College Eagles today. We get revenge from the awful Fenway Bowl from last season.
Correct.
Kevin Jennings went 24-35, just one interception for almost 300 yards, 3 touchdowns through the air, and no sacks. The offensive line kind of been all over the place this season. Did pretty well today. I think half credit to the offensive line, half credit to Kevin for how awesome that's been limiting the sacks. Do you have the answer?
Yeah, so the Taylor Swift song for this game was "I Forgot That You Existed," and a lyric is "It isn't love, it isn't hate, it's just indifference."
There we go.
Yeah, didn't really care about them until this game came around.
Yeah.
I did forget
Yeah.
about them.
Yeah, irrelevant.
You know,
Yes.
honestly, this is the least concerned I've been. I mean, looking forward, to the final 3 games of the season. If you asked me yesterday, what game are you most concerned about? What game are you least concerned about? I probably would have said Virginia and Boston College and Cal being there in the middle. I wasn't super concerned coming into today. We played well. We performed well. And yeah, very forgettable.
I don't know. I don't think we played that well. I thought we were pretty average. I thought Boston
very
College
up and
did
down.
play very well. Our defense wasn't very good today. We forgot to introduce our studio audience.
Oh yeah. If I wish we had like a secondary camera we
Yes.
could cut to of
Hey, can you guys pan to the...
hey, Jamie.
if any of y'all want to be our intern and be our Jamie, we're taking applications.
We won't pay you anything, but we'll literally take anyone.
And your name does not have to be Jamie.
Yeah.
You might have to identify.
We'll
it.
call you Jamie. though.
Yeah, my dog's sitting over there in the corner.
Yes.
She's
Welcome.
looking
She's
very
cute.
cute.
Welcome, Lacey.
She figured out how to use
pod.
the stairs to go from the 4th floor to the 5th floor of Fondren Library today.
Mm-hmm.
And so
She lives.
Not
she
many
lives
people
here.
know how to do that.
not very many people do. I had someone come up to me today and ask me, how do you get to the 5th floor of Fondren Library? They're like, once you get to the 4th, it's pretty difficult to get to the 5th. And I was like, well, that's kind of a secret.
It's a
that
trade
we don't
secret. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
I mean, it's
But back-
pretty much just our studio and Ben's apartment.
That is
Yes.
true. He does live here.
Well, I mean, my studio is the apartment. Wait.
Our
I
studio
mean, your
is
apartment is-
I
the
flipped
studio.
those words. I flipped those words just like I forgot what high school Kevin Jennings went to when I asked him a question.
Ooh,
Mm.
That was tough.
should we play that blooper?
Yeah.
So for context, I asked Kevin Jennings about the battle with Grayson James, who went to Duncanville. I remembered the other quarterback's high school, Duncanville, and for some reason I blanked on Sauk. It was pretty much a
South Oak Cliff.
massive failure on my part. I choked in when it really mattered.
Well,
unlike the defense.
Yeah, well, that's the thing is, so Ben was very frustrated throughout the night. I mean, and there, don't get me wrong, there was a lot of points where our defense gave up some really big plays. But I just got to push back a little bit because I was saying this the whole night that I don't think our defense as a whole is just bad. Because we're not. We had pressure on their quarterback throughout the night. And there's a part in the fourth quarter where they started running the ball on us a lot because we, put up 3 guys up front and then, trying to stop their passes. But really, we struggled in our secondary more so than anything. We were having pressure on them, and they were just getting the ball off right as the quarterback was getting hit and making big pass plays for a lot of it. And so I just want to say, I actually thought that our defensive line actually did really well. And I think, if I recall in the post-game presser, I think Coach Lashley actually mentioned that as well. I think he mentioned that the defensive line actually played a really solid game. But yeah, I would say that our defense as a whole, we've been saying this all year. We gotta fix these explosive plays that they're getting, and these bailout plays that they're getting. But I think our defensive line is actually great. At this point, I think I would put them as a great defensive line, not elite, but great.
Yeah, especially without Roberts tonight.
Elijah Roberts wasn't there.
Right.
For sure.
I mean, I don't think they played. I don't think they're a bad unit. I just don't think they played very well tonight.
Our secondary really struggled. I think it was a tale of 2 different units in the defense.
Because in the second half we got absolutely bullied on the line. I mean, they were pushing us around. They were doing whatever the heck they wanted to do until the last drive. So
yeah.
Well, I think this. So we were sitting in the press box, and to our right was the defensive coordinator. We could hear them, the frustration that.
Are you serious?
Coach Thomas had. Yeah, it was. We could hear there were
3 or 4 times.
Very, very loud.
how do you know that was him?
I don't know.
Well, no, it's just
Scott
his
Simons,
staff.
It's the coordinator's box.
They're on the right.
They're to the
Because
right.
I know
They're to
I know
right
the
of us.
visiting's on the left. but-
Yeah,
They're to the right.
We'd see a big play happen, like somebody they got a pass off that was deep, or when you did a big run or something, and then we just hear loud yelling.
I heard an
But
F-bomb.
it's really before it's like they could tell that it was about to be a big run before it happened. And
Yes,
they
they
were
could.
screaming right before that play.
See, because I could tell that they were about to drop an F-bomb, but I couldn't tell if it was a celebration from like the Pitt people. I mean, not Pitt. Here we go again.
BC.
From the
Boston
BC
College.
people, or if it was from us.
They're
Yeah,
forgettable.
let's play this clip again for Ben.
Oh no.
Out there making plays because he built my confidence.
What was it like getting to kind of like relive the battle of Duncanville versus sorry, I forgot.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, Oak Cliff, and the gum
It was good.
chewing.
That's my boy Grayson. I trained with him.
Yeah, and the gum smacking too. I guess we can listen to his response.
That was tough.
Oh, is it?
Things like that. And we've been looking forward to this. And he's been working his butt off and took it to the start spot. And it's just a great game. Duncanville decided to show.
Well, it was kind of hard to hear what he said.
We
there,
need to
but
get some better those audio capture things so that we
What-
can
A cone.
A lot.
a cone.
Get one of the cones that they've got on the sidelines of the game.
That's
No,
what I'm
they-
saying. We need those
Come in with a
sideline
big dish.
cones.
I
so
think
can-
we should just fork up the money and get a microphone to put on the table.
I think that's honestly that's what we should do. It's probably not even that expensive.
We could find a cheap one.
Yeah.
Off Amazon. That's good enough. Better than this.
Yeah, let's look through Amazon right now. Throw your Amazon.
Amazon links in the
recommendation.
chat. We'll look them up.
Oh, but real quick,
Donations, too.
since we were on this, George brought this up, and I think this is exactly it. He's basically said that Boston College came in ready for this game. I think that it was. I do think. I think that they game plan. Their offense coordinated really, really well in terms of coaching against us because in the first part of the game, our defensive line, like the first half of the game, we're getting pressure on them all night. The run game wasn't killing us. And they were just getting passes off every time they got QB pressure. And then second half comes around, we start dropping back a lot more to try to stop the passes, and they just started running all over us. It's like every time that we started to do something to stop them, they just flipped it and they had something ready to answer and just start taking us out again. So, I mean, just props to Boston College for doing a really, really great game prep. And as George said, props to us for fighting through that and getting
And
the dub
props
anyway.
to Bill O'Brien for not having a 2-minute offense to run. So, thanks for that, buddy.
Or a
Appreciate
kicker. Yeah.
Or a kicker. That's facts.
I want to touch on something that Rhett said in the post game as well. Ben asked about the defense, and we've kind of been talking about the struggle the defense had today. It was honestly, I mean, there was a lot of times we couldn't get off the field.
3rd and long, yeah.
Six times they went for fourth down.
They were 6
times.
of 15, but then of those 15 times, they went for it 6 times, and they got it 3 times. So we really struggled to get off the field.
Is that included in
Yeah.
that, or is that's 15 is separate from the 6? I think there's
So of the 15 times they had it,
for
That they
third
did
down
that they
conversions.
didn't get it.
No, these
Sorry,
are
they
added
were-
on. These
they
are
were-
fourth down conversions. They
they
went
were-
for fourth down 6 times, and they went for
Right.
third down 15 times.
Correct.
No, what he's saying is when they didn't get those.
Oh yeah, they
9
missed the third down.
downs,
Then they went.
Yeah.
for it.
yeah.
Oh, I guess
yeah,
there's-
6 of those. Yeah.
So
yeah.
they
That
converted
makes sense.
9 times, right? 9 out of
Yeah,
21.
out of 15 drives that got stopped at third down,
Yes.
they converted 9 times because they went for it on fourth down on 6 of them. And they got
Yeah.
3 of those.
Yeah.
Kind of confusing, but they went for it on fourth down
The
a
math,
lot.
Anyway.
the math adds up.
Anyway, the defense really struggled throughout the game.
Yeah.
I would say 3.5 quarters of really struggling to get the
With like
Get Boston
with like
College.
moments of greatness.
with a few
Yeah.
moments. Wakobia's interception, that was great.
Huge.
Right,
Some
you know,
That
really
was
big
huge
a tip
sacks
for
for
tat
Toby.
kind of there. Kobe, 16 tackles today.
Oh my
Absolute
gosh.
beast.
Just killing it.
Shout out Kobe. We
Hey,
love him.
that's the Mustang mood effect right there.
2 weeks in a row, the Mustang Mood post Mustang Mood interview, he's led the team in tackles. So, coincidence?
It was the
Absolutely
In
I
fact,
think
not.
not.
Well,
It was
Kobe
the
has
s'mores
said
dogs.
that Kobe passed him in total tackles for the season after that last
it
game.
was the s'mores dogs.
It was.
It was the s'mores dogs.
If you want to be like Kobe Wilson, you have to eat s'mores dogs.
You have to get the
So-
slime mentality,
And-
and you got to eat those s'more dogs.
Yeah,
You said the slime
the
mentality.
slime backer. Yeah.
Anyway, I think
Facts.
what
Should I play
think-
the clip?
I think Rhett's response to Ben's question.
I didn't
of-
fumble this one.
No, yeah, this was a good question. Is
It wasn't. Rhett didn't say good question.
oh,
Yeah, but
He didn't-
but I didn't
it was an
fumble.
okay
I didn't
question.
fumble at least.
all right. Play the clip. Play the clip.
Really stepping up when it mattered.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
That's good.
So we're
We'll just-
thankful to try to
Just give it a sec.
redeem ourselves from that moment.
Yeah.
I want to make sure we get everything in there, you know.
Okay. Yeah.
Can you talk about the defense again? Just felt like they struggled a lot to get off the field, like you said, but then really stepping up when it mattered.
Yeah. You know, that's what you got to do to win consistently and to potentially be a championship caliber team. You got to win different ways every week. You got to win sometimes when, like I said, go back to the Duke game. When we were a turnover machine offensively, we were holding the line on defense. And then you come back, you come to tonight where, again, we could have probably finished a few more drives with touchdowns and maybe created the distance we needed. But the offense was moving the ball and scoring and keeping us at least ahead when we were struggling to not only get off the field but keep them out of the end zone. But then it shifts, and now offensively we're not able to kind of run the clock out and score and possess the ball, and our defense steps up. To your point, right before half, at the end of the game, I just think it's just good team ball. And I don't know, some years you play it, some years you don't. These guys have a good knack for it. They know when the moments are big enough, and they have. That's the grit I'm talking about. They need to make the
And
play.
so, yeah, like he's saying, when they needed to make the plays, he made the plays. I liked what he said at the beginning of that quote. Is that's what you have to do to be a championship caliber team. You got to find a different way every week to win games, and I feel like that's what this team has done. A lot of the home games have been similar ways. Let's blow them out. Let's score a bunch of points, but they've been gritty. I think we've been really gritty in several different ways, and I think, man, looking back 8 weeks, 8 weeks ago, I think that's right about when we lost to BYU. We're just like a completely different team. That was, y'all remember how depressed we were after that game?
It was sad.
It's like we really
You should go back and listen to that episode just to
yeah, you should
reconnect with
To
ourselves.
see how the Mustang mood was.
Yeah,
It was not high.
it was bad.
And so we were questioning who was the best choice at quarterback. Now there's no question. We were questioning what our defense could do. We were questioning, what if our offense could even click.
Mm-hmm.
And all those have been put to rest. And we have found a different way to win every week since then. So
Yeah.
It's,
Well, I was gonna say, let's talk about the crowd size.
yeah,
So, I keep saying if Rhett wants people to stay, just make it a closer game.
and
And
a lot more people.
he
stayed
made it a
this week.
closer game, and a lot of people stayed.
I will say there was an alarming amount of people that did leave, especially.
I agree.
Almost maybe like
Even
a
with it being
third
close.
of the student section, which was disappointing.
Yeah,
But
I think there's still some culture that needs to be built at
Yeah.
SMU.
It takes time.
It takes time.
it's getting better for sure.
Rhett said that we broke the season record for attendance already,
and
We
we
have
still have
one
another
more
and we
game.
have a game left.
Yeah. And
so,
but
it doesn't
also-
flip overnight.
Yeah.
We've got to do this.
But
we
I-
got to.
yeah, sorry. to
No,
cut you off.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say I think it is improving though, because I noticed at this game, like 8 minutes before the game started, 8 minutes before kickoff, more than half of the student section was already full.
Right.
And if we were to look at a home game, a couple months ago against like BYU,
Yeah.
not the case.
Correct.
Like by kickoff, student section is pretty much empty.
Right.
Because
Trickling
it's
in.
kickoff when people start coming in. But now people have realized, like, we want to be a part of this culture. We want to be there on time.
And this team's worth watching.
And the team is worth watching.
From
for sure.
varsity to varsity. So, yeah, it's been very exciting.
Yeah, so George had a question. Why did Rhett call that timeout with 2 minutes and 3 seconds left in the game when BC was clearly not going to run a play before the 2-minute warning? I thought that made no sense. Well,
You've read.
I have. So someone actually asked Rhett this because we were thinking the same thing. We didn't ask it. Someone else did. But here was his response.
Just a great performance all around.
He's asking about him for walk through his thinking on the timeout.
Yeah, I didn't want to call a timeout there, but we were not in a good situation defensively, and I had a split-second decision. I would have loved to let it go, but if they snapped the ball there, they're probably going to get a yard, but we were definitely we had a problem. So I had to call a timeout. I didn't want to. I hate doing that. We have to do that often at times. And they came out and got the yard and a half. Of course, now, hindsight, if we stop them there, it's a big deal, but it wasn't a good exchange for us. What was the other one?
And the second thing was a decision to rush forward on that fourth down.
Yeah, so, we were up 3, and they had 2 timeouts, and so we had to run the ball. I thought one of the big...
Yeah, so as far as the timeout before the 2-minute timeout, he saw something we didn't see, and so called the timeout there.
Which is fair because we couldn't see anything.
Yeah,
'Cause
we
were
were
on the
field.
sideline behind
Yeah.
the players and couldn't.
And
see
I mean,
anything.
maybe it looked like they weren't going to snap, but it seemed like you didn't want to take that risk.
Yeah.
He knew it was a risky, not a risky. He knew that it was a bad exchange. Like he said that. He's like, yeah, I know it's a bad exchange, but I think it's worse. He said there was something that needed to be fixed. Sometimes that happens.
Yeah. A little questioning of that for sure. But I think the bigger question is, what do you do on 4th and 2 on your own? What was it, 8-yard line or something like that, 5-yard line? I think that's. I mean,
wait, no, he's talking about when we were on the 4th.
Yeah.
He's talking
Yeah, it
about.
was-
Oh,
I'm
I see.
talking about
You're
the
talking
other way
about from
around.
Boston
Yeah.
College.
Right.
Okay, sorry.
And then from there, Boston College isn't able. Our defense shuts them down. Not on that 4th down play, but right after that, our defense shuts them down.
Well, I thought he had a really great answer when they asked him about that play call when we were in the red zone. Yeah.
Our 4th down
Yes,
play
our
in
fourth
the red
down.
zone.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I guess the first thing he was saying is, all right, best case scenario, we get 4 to 6 seconds to come off the clock in a kick, and so we still have to give it back to them. And then
There was 13 seconds left in the game for context. So the idea was to burn off as much time as you could. If you fail,
Mm-hmm.
And
they
if
can only get 1 or 2 plays
Yeah.
at most.
And if we were to take the field goal and they happen to block it and run it back, they win.
Or if we make
obviously.
it, you do a kickoff
And
They
they
run
return
and
it.
They return it, you
Or
lose.
a Hail Mary, we
Yeah.
lose. Yeah.
Either way.
Uh-huh.
So
I wasn't
why
even
take that
thinking that
risk?
deep into it, honestly.
That's why he's the head coach.
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, I
This is what
leaned
we were
over to
talking-
the guys. I was like, what if we ran the other way? 13 seconds. You could probably
You
run
could.
across-
You probably
But
could.
It's
it
like-
could also go
No,
wrong.
no.
It could go
Also-
very
13
Yeah.
seconds. You
very
could get
wrong.
down a field in 9. So if we run that way,
Yeah.
we get sacked at our 10-yard line. All of a sudden, they can just.
Well, it's like those
Well, you'd rather get the safety.
have y'all seen those like
There you go. Yeah, just weave back
That's
and
actually
forth,
true.
get the
Yeah.
safety, and then the game will just end.
Yeah.
That's true.
have y'all seen the like 1,000-yard kick return on college football? On like the video game?
No.
It's so like
no, but I
people that
probably
are
know
just
what
so
you're talking
good, they just run back and
They just
forth,
weave back and
dodging all the defenders
Oh my gosh.
like 10 times, and then
Those are the
score.
worst people. I that's how I feel like when I play FIFA. Is when
The
people
only
are
one
doing
that can do that is
I think
Brashard.
it's-
Like, there's nobody else that could do that.
Yeah, he did good tonight. Brashard Smith, a 30-yard kick return. And then RDJ, 2 for 44, had a 34-yarder. So kick return's been good too. Anyway, I think, and then, okay, so then what do you, here we were throwing out ideas. How do you handle this situation? Run backwards, run forwards, kick it. Like, what do you do? And then ultimately we decided a little jet sweep, pop pass.
burn some time.
Win the game.
even if it
he's
doesn't
like,
work.
The
for-
least amount of time that we could take off the clock is 4 to 6 seconds,
and then they have to go 95 yards.
and then they have to go 95 plus yards. Yeah, to score
or I guess they'd have to go like 60 yards for a field goal.
with
But
with
still.
8
Well, that's the thing. They couldn't even do that because even if they got 60 yards down, they had no timeouts. So there's no way they could get their whole team up to the line to spike it. A game would have ended. So they have to go for a Hail Mary. That's that was one of the key points of it.
Yeah, and Boston College had attempted 2 kicks this season.
The whole season.
Yeah.
So there was no field goal in their mind. It would have had to be all or nothing.
Yeah.
Whoa. Yeah. So, I thought it was very interesting, but overall, very good.
Strong head coaching play right there.
Yeah,
definitely.
So real quick, since we're still early in the podcast, we want to go ahead and give our Mustang Mood Player of the Game. How are you guys feeling? I feel like it's an obvious choice, but I'm open to other suggestions.
Yeah, who's the obvious choice?
I don't know what the obvious choice is.
Yeah, who's your obvious choice?
I feel like Kevin Jennings is easily the obvious choice. Even Coach said that interception Coach said that is like that wasn't on Kevin, that was on him. Like Coach put him into a position where that interception was basically going to happen. And so if you think about if you take that out, Kevin Jennings was 3 touchdowns, no sacks, and a lot of that was because of great mobility. He extended plays. There was so many, there's probably 2 or 3 third and long situations where he was extending the play and got a pass off after a massive scramble. It was just, he played phenomenally well. And maybe a runner-up, I would say, is, maybe Kobe or
for sure.
Kobia.
Those guys were just elite on defense. And so, but I feel like Kevin is just playing at a top 5 QB in the nation type quarterback right now.
He's getting all the shout outs from Saban.
Yeah.
Yeah, he is. Talked about that as well. Asked Kevin that. You want to play that clip? Do you have that handy?
Look for it.
But yeah, I'm okay with that. How do you feel?
Yeah, I mean, to me, it was very much a team win. I didn't feel like anyone necessarily really, really stood out. But yeah, I think that's fair. I don't have anyone better to offer up.
Yeah, I guess my only argument was, Kobe Wilson getting 16 tackles is crazy.
It's crazy.
Yeah. And with Kobia,
crazy.
I feel like his interception was kind of a momentum turner.
Yeah, it was.
It was definitely the play of the game. Play of the game is easily Wakobia's interception.
I've got someone back here. They're actually cutting the trophy in half.
Yeah,
an offensive and
that's
defensive.
Fair.
That's good.
So
maybe defensive player of the game versus.
Yeah, they're done. Let me.
It's a lot lighter. It's only one person needs to
exactly.
lift it.
So
Jay's got it.
Here you go, Kevin Jennings,
Offensive
the offensive Mustang Mood Player of the Game. Very prestigious award. I know you've got a couple of these, but put this up on your shelf.
For sure.
It's a good one. And here we go. There we go. Here you go. Kobe Wilson, defensive Mustang Mood Player of the Game.
16 tackles.
With the assist from the Mustang Mood.
And we've got the shavings over here. I'm gonna
Is that the play of the game?
Disrespectful.
This is the special teams player of the game. Isaac Pearson really made some specifically the one going into the half.
Second field goal, yeah.
Just
with the bad snap.
The hold was awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, he made something out of nothing. He had awful snap, and he put it laces out, but or laces in. I don't know, but it Colin kicked the laces, but snuck it into that upright.
Wait, we didn't give Isaiah the play of the game trophy.
They're building another trophy.
Okay, we'll be back on that.
We'll be back.
And I think that's a good thing. We should have play of the game moments because there are in each of these games we've had some crazy plays, it was Kobe's pick 6 that was a huge momentum shifter back maybe 3 weeks ago, and then we've had every game we've had a key play that's just busted the game open or it's saved the game or something like that, and so
we need to start giving definitely that. If we would have been down at half. This game is completely different.
Guys, let's keep it going. The Mustang Mood drive of the game goes to the defensive line for the last drive.
All right, hold up. Sorry. They made 2, so
perfect.
2 plays
a little smaller, but here you go. The play of the game, Wacobia, and the drive of the game. Here, there's actually 11 right there for all the defense.
Yes.
They're miniature,
but especially the D line. Although I guess I didn't really see who got the sacks because we were on the field, so it was hard to.
Yeah, Kobe had one.
Yeah.
And Jahari Farr.
Jafari Harvey.
Did
we get 3 sacks?
Big sacks.
Back to back to back? Or
it was just
no, they threw
2
one.
We had 1 sack before and then 2 on that drive.
But they were.
It was crazy.
All right, going back to Saban saying good things about Kevin Jennings, asked him about that, and here's his response.
Sold out stands every week, so you got to show love to them and get back to them as well. So,
Kevin, you made some great plays today, and this morning Coach Saban had some great things to say about you on game day. Did that play into like kind of some of the magical plays you had in the first half today?
Yeah, shout out to Coach Saban. You know, he building my confidence up a lot. You know, week by week, he's just talking about me all the time. So confidence definitely going up. And definitely out there making plays because he's building my confidence.
It's insane that it's happened twice
now in 2 weeks.
That Coach Saban has been talking about Kevin Jennings on College Game Day.
I'm so sorry for the gum smacking. I didn't even realize I was doing it.
It's so bad.
I know. I'm so sorry. I ruined the audio there.
It's okay.
It's a bad night.
We still love you, Ben.
It's a bad night for me. So sorry, guys.
No.
You're good.
Ben's quitting the podcast, by the way.
Yeah,
He did. He made statements indicating he might. Be
I already peaked with my good question from Rhett. Now it's all downhill from there. So I might as well just retire. I should have retired then, but
Oh my
too late.
gosh.
Oh man.
Should we catch up on some comments?
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Yeah. So let's see here.
Yeah, if you too want to interact in the post-game podcast, head over to YouTube. If you're listening later, next time go to YouTube. For away games, we come on within 30 minutes of the game ending, and then for home games, we come on 6 hours after. No, it's about an hour.
It's
and
a
a
lot.
half.
About an hour and a half
The logistics are tough.
Yeah.
Wait,
Yeah.
before we go to the comments, I need to get this off my chest. I am outraged that Boise State is ranked above us, even though it does not matter.
Can we have?
It's disgusting.
Yeah.
Let's have a.
We'll have a
college football
whole
playoff
Okay.
ranking
section.
segment. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So our man Chipper says or asks us, "Does TCU suck or what?" Man,
Yeah, actually,
Heck yes.
yeah. I got a
yes.
I did
report
that for my mom.
earlier today from an inside source that is in Fort Worth, and he said exactly that. TCU sucks. So
Do they-
and I have another source that actually confirmed that
Really?
TCU does in fact suck.
So two independent sources,
Unbiased
said
as well.
unbiased sources said that TCU sucks. So yeah, Chipper, to answer that question, yes.
But this is how little they matter. I had absolutely no idea if they played today or not, which I just looked up. They
did they play?
No,
They-
they don't. They're off.
Oh.
They lost to Michigan last night in basketball.
Yeah, they don't really hold much space in my head anymore.
I haven't really thought
After we
about
beat them, I don't really think about them that much.
I'm telling you, it was healing.
It really
it
was.
It was healing.
Watching
was
Sunday nights get
magical.
thrown out was the
Oh.
moment in my heart where I was like, yeah, I don't care about these guys anymore.
One
They're
of,
done.
one of my
That was so magical.
yeah. One of the highlights for my season is walking through the tunnel and seeing Sonny Dykes just blank stare, looking angry, and just giving him the head nod as I walked by. Oh, he didn't even acknowledge me, but it was awesome. It felt so good.
Goodbye, Cloudy.
It's beautiful.
Let's see. George Carson says, we also need to teach our fans, especially the alumni, that clapping on 3rd and 4th down is not an acceptable substitute for screaming as loud as you can. I got to say,
This
George,
is true.
I am at times guilty of doing that. But I'm also working on game days. You know, we need this. I need this voice.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
this
yeah.
is the
What's
other
your
thing
excuse,
is
other fans?
we have been
we have to preserve our voices.
reprimanded by our good friends that I don't know if we
That
should
led
give
us into the
names,
press
but that led us
box.
into the press box.
That was 2 weeks ago.
And
We've learned our
we were
lesson.
reminded of it today,
we're
we're
fans.
Rightfully so.
rightfully so,
We were
to be
alone
more
about it.
professional. And so I think there's some level of
Okay.
I would love to scream in a lot of situations, but we're trying to be professional in some ways. So at least I am. Maybe
Okay, let's clarify. All we did was we were cheering in the press box.
we were
'cause-
cheering in the press box
because
which-
we're not journalists. We're not working for newspaper. We're fans. We just love SMU football.
but we're the only ones like that. Everyone else there is a
And
journalist. or
somehow they
newspaper.
let us in there.
Yeah, it's
no,
great.
No,
we love
okay.
it.
Come
We,
on. No, I mean,
I
we
mean, it's a
do-
great
yeah,
privilege.
No, yeah, it's yeah.
No.
And we just
Okay.
want to be respectful of them, and so we're just
Yeah,
trying to be
for sure.
professional.
Okay.
But
yeah, no.
yes, George, every fan in the stadium should be screaming at the top.
I mean, it was pretty loud in the fourth quarter. If it was, even though
Coach said that.
I would say half of, or maybe a third of the side, the east, whatever side it is,
Yeah, that's right.
had left. It was still really loud, and it wasn't completely full.
Yeah,
so.
Coach Lashley, in his opening comments in the presser afterwards, he commented on how this is the first time in the fourth quarter that we the fans were really loud in a drive that we needed in the late game. And so he was just like he gave a shout out to the fans. He appreciated everyone that stayed. Now we should have more stay.
Yes.
Frankly, we should really if we're in a close game like that where we're up 3 with less than a minute left, we should have everyone there. We need everyone there
For sure.
But
Shout out Sean Carpath. Let's see. Going forward on 4th was definitely the right move.
Can we let's play Rhett's
his opening comments.
Yeah. Let's see. All right.
It's about to start. Just
All right, well, really excited to get the win. It was a really good team win. Credit Boston College. They did a really nice job of running the ball and grinding out the clock and just kind of being really hard to get off the field. And thought Kevin played great.
Like we said.
Thought we really played well offensively the first 3 quarters. A couple times, early in the game we settled for a field goal we missed and had to settle for another one. But we moved the ball really well, and especially when our defense was struggling to get off the field. And then late, I think we only punted twice. I think it was like our last 2 drives. When we didn't convert a few drives late, our defense finally stepped up, did what they needed to do. Big shout out to our crowd, to our student section. I heard this was a top 10 largest crowd in the history of SMU tonight. We've already set this attendance record for a season. We got a game left. They were there in the 4th quarter when we needed them. It was loud that last drive, and we got them in those must-pass situations, and our D-line went to work. So, just proud of our guys. We knew it'd be hard.
Yeah. So, crowd was a huge factor tonight, and so pretty crazy. Top 10 attendance on a game that was sold out. Didn't look so sold out.
no.
What'd y'all think of the blackout? Love to see that in the comments. What'd you think of the blackout?
Yeah.
Okay, it was either Walker or Ben that made a comment on this. If we had
Black merch.
That was-
black merchandise, those you, yeah. Okay, Walker made this comment. Why don't you just say it? You
I
just
think
say it.
that
It's
was
yours.
me.
Or
Maybe it was
I
Ben.
don't know. One of you guys.
It's both of us. Maybe it's
Yeah,
Ben,
we
you got
don't
it.
have like I'm just wearing a black shirt. I looked at like the different places, and I mean, there's a couple Lululemon things which are very expensive, but otherwise, there's not a lot of good black merch because they don't sell what the coaches have and like all the staff.
Mhm.
Right.
They have a lot of like black stuff, but they don't sell that to the public. So
Yeah.
there were so many people just wear you just have to wear a black shirt, which
Just
is
like-
I saw
fine,
a
I saw some
Steelers
random
jersey.
stuff.
I saw
Yeah.
a Toronto like Maple Leafs in
Yeah.
black. I don't know what that was. That was strange. I saw all sorts of random jerseys.
Yeah, there was like a very significant lack of SMU branding
Yes.
on a lot of everyone's clothes, and I did say I will take credit for this. You can't steal this from me, Ben.
Okay.
But
I'll try.
it kind of felt like I was just walking around at a generic football game
Yeah.
where I didn't know who the teams were.
Like a Dr. Pepper Fansville type thing.
Yeah.
Like, all right, this is the generic college football team.
Yes.
Like,
I mean,
That's funny.
I'm still of the opinion if you want somebody to wear a certain color in a certain section, you have to give them shirts. Are we not rich enough to like put like $5 T-shirts on the seats? Because like I feel like that's what maybe big schools don't do that, but that's my understanding. Is
Penn
like
State does for the whiteout.
Who is SMU to tell us what to wear? This is
There
my
we go.
opinion. This is my opinion.
Okay.
Also, why do we have to wear SMU branded merch all the time?
because we
you know,
love SMU
Ben looks fine. He's got an SMU hat on
and a bracelet.
The bracelet's
bracelet,
actually kinda
guys?
cool. But
I don't know if you
yeah,
Yeah.
nobody can see that.
but he's wearing a black T-shirt and a pony up hat. Like what else do we need other than that? It's like if you wanted to wear that next week when they're saying wear blue, like that's great. That's fine.
Okay, but
If football, okay, if you go
I have a
back and
rebuttal.
look, well, save it. All right, it's my rant.
I will. I'm waiting.
If you go back and look at football games from the 90s, the 80s, like even like the early 2000s, like people are like just wearing clothes. Like
now,
they
and now they're not.
Yeah,
they
now
just-
it's wildly
they just wear
different.
their regular clothes to football games.
Well,
But
actually,
what did you say? It adds something to the game when you see everyone like wearing the same
What-
team color.
Yeah.
What
for
does
sure.
it
Yes.
wear? What does it add?
I think it just adds to
the vibes.
The
Well,
atmosphere.
the atmosphere in terms of everyone feels like they're in it together. But this is my like variation of this take is I think it has to be your team's colors. If you are,
I
You
couldn't
know-
possibly agree with that anymore.
yeah, if you're
Like,
if you're
gonna
SMU,
do it, let's do our colors.
yeah, it's just got to be our colors. If we're gonna have our guys like, if we're gonna just go and have this camaraderie of like, hey, we're all in this together, we want to be unified. It just needs to be our colors. A&M goes in maroon. UT goes in orange. Like I mean, like
Okay, we don't need to-
Alabama's
we
like
don't need to bring
crimson or
those into
whatever.
this.
Like I'm just saying,
Yeah.
like these schools they show up in like that color that's their school color.
Now I hear you at home listening, and you're saying, Jay, aren't you wearing a black SMU shirt right now? Yes, I am, because I wear SMU shirts all the time. I love SMU, and I just like this is my wardrobe. This is what I wear every day. And you're wearing black. You're trying to fit in. It's like, well, I like how black is slimming on me. Okay, so today was a very special occasion. All right. I think I look very nice in this
You
shirt.
do it. You look really good.
Thank you. My wife said the
Okay,
same thing.
wait.
before.
Okay.
I
Now,
feel like
I'm not done ranting.
okay.
Oh,
Hurry
okay.
up! I've been waiting.
I also have a petition that I want to put forth.
Okay,
right
but
now.
I'll go first, and then you.
Okay, let's think about the post Thanksgiving crowd. They're saying wear blue. They said that like 4 times tonight. They're like in 2 weeks, wear blue, wear blue, wear blue. Like, why? Why do we all like every single game we've been told what color to wear? Why do we have to be told?
It should
And
just be
the
one game a year
least,
that
The
you
least
do.
exciting
No.
is the Thanksgiving game when it's not going to be sold out. It's not going to be as crazy. Like
Senior night.
it's senior night. Like let me wear whatever I want.
It's kind of a
Like
bad
they-
day for senior night, but
Well, we should have like most of these schools they do it like once a year where they're like, all right, this is
Exactly.
our maroon out game. This is our white out game, like Penn State.
Make it special.
Make it special.
I'm okay with 3 times a year. We can have a whiteout for game 1. We can have a blue out, and we can have a red out.
Agreed. Red, white, and blue.
That's it.
And that's all we should do. We can wear the black jerseys. I don't like the way the black jerseys look on the
Player-
field.
The
players
numbers
like
are really
They-
hard to see.
I think they are sick jerseys. I think they are bad SMU jerseys. I think they're great jerseys, bad SMU jerseys. Because black is not one of our colors. We're red, white, and blue.
can we just get over this black thing?
I don't like it.
Okay.
Oh,
But
No,
I'm okay with it.
sorry, Ben.
Also,
do
the
your
blue,
thing.
the blue numbers are hard to read, like when they're on the
Okay.
field. So it's hard
That's
to
what I
tell
just
the
said.
players apart.
See, I don't have a problem with you doing a non-traditional color out, but if you're gonna do that, that's when you have to give us T-shirts because we don't own. Most of us don't own black SMU merch. Give us a T-shirt to wear for the game,
Well, and I
so
went,
that we can
I
have
went,
a blackout.
I went to Rally House last night to get
So did
this
I.
polo, and there were probably like 3 options
Yeah.
for like gray. This is not even black. This is gray. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah. It
Also,
looks black on YouTube.
I don't know if I was on the bookstore website or if it was Rally House, but there was a little announcement that said wear black SMU, and I clicked on the link and there were like 2 black shirts, like you said, and I was like, how am I supposed to wear black if there's like nothing there?
Yeah.
No choices. Yeah. Should we get
Okay.
back to the comments?
Well,
Or you go?
let me put forth this petition real quick because it relates to these games. So SMU earlier this year conquered DFW very, very definitively. And I would say currently we have the best record in Texas football. We have the best resume. We have the best, just overall strength of record in Texas football. And I think, just like the Cowboys are America's NFL team, I think SMU, being the red, white, and blue team that it is, and dominating pretty much everybody that we're playing at this point in the season, we should be America's college football team. And we should press in to the red, white, and blue.
Yeah.
And we should just do that every year. We should be red out game, white out game, blue out game.
Ooh, and then a red and blue, like maybe stripe.
And red and blue stripes, just lean into
Or-
we are
or we get
America's
3.
college football team.
We get 3.
3.
3 outs. You want a stripe out? We do that. You want a white out? We do that. You want a whatever. We get 3 games a year that I will participate in this. But other than that, I'm like,
How
I
about
just-
this? We tell people what color to wear by what seat they're in so that we can create the American flag. So we have like some people in the section
Yeah.
wearing white,
all right,
surrounded by blue.
seat 105. Section 105.
That'll totally
row
work.
A. I think that's a great idea. Okay,
Yeah.
I want to before we go back to the regular comments, I want to look at the comments from my rant. Amy prefers the whiteout. Everyone was very interesting black clothing today. Next time I go on the podcast, George, this is George. He wants to go on a rant about SMU merchandise and the merchandise team at the bookstore. He's so fed up with them. And then Joel.
I like a lot of stuff that they have. That's just me, maybe.
Okay, and then Amy once again agrees with me. Amy's awesome. I met her 2 weeks ago. She seems great.
She's great. Yeah.
Yeah.
Why does
Shout out Amy.
Did she agree with me?
No, she's agreeing with
I feel
me.
left out. Amy, can you please agree with something I said? That'd make me feel a lot better about myself, especially after I fumbled the press conference earlier.
Mm.
I can't get over it. I can't forgive myself. Sorry, go on.
I love this comment. Is that why do we have to wear a certain color to every game? We are SMU. People have nice clothes and can be trusted to look good.
Amen.
Amen.
Okay, but let me just respond to that real fast. Yes, you can wear
Oh,
whatever you
sorry.
want, but why not love thy neighbor and comply with their requests?
Okay.
Like
but
Jesus
they're
served.
requesting every
Hey,
single week.
Jesus listened to others. He gets us. That's a commercial.
I just want us to be
I just
America's
made a
team.
commercial.
Not too sure what that
All
has
right.
to do with wearing a color to a football game.
Are you all ready to
Yeah,
break?
we serve other people.
Are you
we
all ready
serve
to break
SMU.
news on the Mustang Mood podcast?
What are we breaking?
We've got some breaking news from Joel Booth. who is an insider in the athletic
Oh yeah.
industry, athletic
Athletic
like,
wear
clothing
industry,
wear. Yeah. He said that I met a guy at Nike that does collegiate gear for a group of schools, including SMU. He said SMU is now upgraded in priority. So we're getting better and exclusive Nike gear coming next season.
Heck yeah.
Let's go.
Wait, where did you see that?
Joel,
It's in the comments.
Oh, he comment. I thought you were saying he sent it in that group chat. I was like,
No.
wait, what?
No.
That's pretty sick.
Amy also said, "Preach, Jay." Thank you, Amy. You're my new favorite.
Come on, where's the love for the
I
rest
also-
of us?
Andrew Sneed.
Who's that guy?
Who's
Bot.
that guy?
I think he's a bot.
SMU beat the Cowboy by 2 scores, TBH. Honestly, I think
I could see it.
we should have a game against them where we play for America's team.
That would be kind of
and
cool.
whoever wins gets to keep the title America's team, and I think we should do that right
An
now. We
exhibition.
should play that game right now.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
When can we rant about Boise State?
Well, after we go
Okay.
through a few of these comments. George also says, "Oh, sorry, George disagrees with me." So I guess he agrees
Good job,
with you.
George.
I want to be swagged out with SMU stuff, and I like the unified color for the fans. Though he wishes it wasn't every game.
George also says that the fact that you just compared us to the Cowboys is sickening.
That's true. That's bad company.
Brian,
Brand.
I'm
How
just
about-
saying we
just
should
branding.
Take their
How about
title.
branding and
I
attention?
just want to take their title.
We don't want to
of
be. We
America's
don't want to
team.
be the Cowboys. Nobody does.
Brian asked a good question. Why don't we sell jerseys? Like we don't sell any of the jerseys in the bookstore. or
Okay.
anything like that.
There are other
There are some.
companies that sell them
Yeah,
for like
DH.
NIL stuff.
No, at Rally House they do have. They have.
Oh, do
they
they?
just have the Dallas. That's it. The white.
Yeah,
Dallas.
Just the
but
white
then, but then
Dallas.
there's
Yeah.
there's another brand that like partners with students to sell stuff. I don't remember what it's called.
Yeah,
though.
but those jerseys aren't like they don't look like
Flexer or
Nike
something. I don't know. Yeah, no,
on field
they look
stuff.
different.
The fact, comparing us to the Cowboys is sickening. Agree.
Logan Paul won in Cowboys Stadium before the Cowboys in 2024.
Logan. That doesn't sound right.
Wow. The Arizona
That was
Coyotes
Jake
have
Paul,
won a
whoever
home
said that.
game
Oh,
more
yeah,
recently than the
you're right.
Dallas Cowboys. That's crazy. And they haven't won one recently.
Back
Okay.
to SMU though.
Back to SMU.
Let's
Forget the Cowboys
I think this is a good time to start talking about. We can talk about Boise and the
and Notre Dame.
our friends over at the playoff selection.
Yeah, you guys are. You guys stink.
Do we have any other comments that we want to go over before? Are they
Oh,
good?
so Brian, so this is back to us talking about Rhett's timeout call before the 2-minute.
yeah. And then we'll
timeout.
start ranting about something else.
Yeah. Brian says, if Rhett didn't have a history of consistently calling terrible timed timeouts, I would believe him.
Okay. You say that, but he is no Tim Jakovich. Tim Jakovich couldn't call a good timeout to save his life.
He couldn't
like
do
that
anything.
guy wasted timeouts like no one's business. So in comparison to Tim, I think Rhett Lashley is the GOAT of calling timeouts.
Good job, Rhett.
Okay, guys. Can somebody in the chat please explain to me how Boise State is ranked above us? Can somebody
Lost to
explain it?
Oregon.
They lost to Oregon, who is currently losing to Check's Notes. What is that? 4-6 Wisconsin.
Are they
5-4.
really?
It's 13-6. Yeah, they're losing.
Is that in Camp Randall or in
Yeah,
Oregon?
it's in Wisconsin.
Wow.
Oregon was terrible at the beginning of the season. They were barely squeaking by trash teams. Okay, I don't care. It's a quality loss. Okay, our quality loss is what, 5 spots lower in BYU. Their best win is Washington State, who is garbage because they play in the Mountain West. They're currently losing to New Mexico University. It just started, but Washington State is trash. Okay, congrats Boise State on your best win being Washington State. And whereas we've beaten Louisville, okay, Louisville let us down today, but we've also beaten Pitt, who almost beat Clemson. It makes no sense. Notre Dame with the loss to Northern Illinois. You cannot bounce back from that. I don't care what
Yeah.
you say. We literally
How
on
do you
paper.
say we look like Boise State on paper? Or sorry, Notre Dame on paper. How do you say that our loss is worse than their loss? Like, how do you say we're a worse team because
Our
of our
loss is definitely not.
What I
worse
don't
than theirs.
understand.
Our
No,
loss-
it can't be.
Our loss
The
is
only
so much
argument
better.
that they have is that they would have to argue that Notre Dame is winning against better or in better fashion.
That's
That's
not
the only
true.
way
They're
you
not.
could argue.
That's not
that.
true. The only
They're not
better win they have is A&M. But what I'm saying is,
Well, they also beat
I feel like
Navy by like 50.
I feel like Boise State gets credit over us because they have a better loss, quote unquote. Whereas, okay, Notre Dame lost to Northern Illinois, and secondly, we have a better. I'm not saying we should be ranked third, but we have a better resume than Texas. But we're like 20 spots below them. It's only 11. But why? Because we're not a recognized brand. What did Ward Manuel say? Come on, dude. Look, you're the AD of Michigan. You're supposed to be a smart person. He said, based on the body of work, we thought Miami is 5 spots better than SMU. What's the body of work? Who's Miami beat?
We have
the same
This
best
is something
win.
that's based on field.
We have a
It is
better
not-
loss.
They're not doing this by a metric system, and this is why Florida State got left out last year, because they looked at him, quarterback got injured, and they said, okay, we feel like even though Florida State was undefeated, we feel like they shouldn't be here because they lost it, and it has nothing to do with your body of work. It has to do with how they feel about you.
Stop with
That's
that.
all it is.
Stop
That's
with that
the worst
BS.
way.
It's not true.
You know what?
It's garbage.
I think is interesting is it really should be. I want the BCS picking the 12-team playoff. Like I want the computers to pick it. The problem we had with the BCS wasn't that the computer was picking the top 2 teams. It was that there was only 2 teams.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm with you.
And this is just me complaining.
Yeah, they're
'cause
so
I don't like
biased.
if the BCS didn't like us, then I would complain about that. But the BCS,
But I trust a computer more. I guess the question is like who's writing the code for the computer, you know?
right?
Like,
But the algorithm that the BCS had is like it's still valid, right? It's like it valued big wins like we've had over Pitt, like we have over Florida State, like we have over TCU.
Yeah.
Like those are important. Like the way you win was very important to the BCS. And so,
I mean, if
Do y'all want to hear how BCS would rank
hold on,
everyone
George
right
is
now?
hopping off. Bye, George.
bye, George.
Okay.
So, dude, do you want to hear how BCS would actually rank everyone right now? Because they've actually done this. There was an
Yeah.
Oh,
article
they keep
released
track
3
of it.
days ago.
Let's see it.
I
Yeah,
wanna hear
it's
it.
just
Yeah,
because
they
it's a
still
computer
have-
program.
Yeah, let's do it.
So number 1 would be Oregon.
Which is true. I
So
think
fair.
Oregon
Okay.
should
So
be
fair.
the
So
number
fair.
1 team
Keep
in the
going.
country.
Number 2 is Texas, despite the resume. Yeah,
Are you sure
Number
they're actually
3
running
Keep
BC?
going.
is BYU.
Keep going.
Oh.
Okay. Keep
Yeah.
going.
I like that.
BCS would put BYU at number 3.
Okay.
Now this is the first 4. Keep in mind is conference championships.
These are the
So this
seeds.
isn't this. These first 4 are not power rankings. These are just
Okay.
So
who
is
is
the
the
BCS setting up the playoff?
Yes, and they're assuming
Okay,
like
okay,
based
okay.
on who's higher ranked would actually make it.
Okay. Keep
So
going.
number 4 is Miami because they would be projected to beat us.
Okay.
So they put them at 4.
I understand that.
Number 5 is Ohio State versus Boise State.
Okay. So that's the 5-12.
Number 6 is Penn State, Georgia,
That's
6-11.
6-11. Georgia at 11.
They would put Georgia at
That's
Wow.
BS.
yeah.
That's
Georgia would
higher
be at
than
11.
the playoff committee. Playoff committee has them at 12
12.
Yeah, this
or
is
13. Yeah, 12.
Okay.
this I think was released 3 days ago. I'll pull
Keep
that back
going.
out in a second to tell you the date. Number 7 Indiana versus number 10 Alabama,
Well, that's BS.
and number 8 Tennessee versus number 9 Notre Dame.
So
Okay.
so nothing would change.
So it's BS.
Would
either
be
way.
so. This is the actual based on BCS. This is like actual power. Oregon, Ohio State, Texas, Penn State, Indiana, Tennessee's at 6, BYU's at 7, Notre Dame's at 8, Bama's at 9, Georgia's at 10, Ole Miss is at 11, Miami's at 12. We are 13.
At least we're
Boise
closer to
State is
Miami.
14.
That I
and-
would.
and
Hey,
Clemson
thank
is
you.
14.
We're above Boise State. Thank you.
BCS would put us above Boise.
Yeah, that
Sorry.
makes sense. I'm okay.
We are the one spot outside of it.
I'm okay if Miami is above us as long
Yeah,
as it's like
But
one,
not
Wow.
5 spots.
1 or 2 spots.
Yeah,
They're
Miami's
2 max.
Their
Crazy.
basic reasoning was Cam Ward is fun to watch. That's basically what he
That's-
said, which
that
is
is what they
ridiculous. Which
said,
is a
yeah.
ridiculous reason. Their defense is terrible.
and they're
I don't-
significantly ahead of
How
us.
would they be? How would they be favored against us? I don't understand. That should be a 50-50 right now. We're playing way better than they are.
I don't. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see.
Whatever.
I'm excited for that
beat
game.
Them,
I still
it's
think
annoying.
Bashard
I think
Smith's
they
gonna
would
have
be
a
favored
day
against us.
Miami.
But yes, I think offense. It's going to be a shootout.
Yeah.
It's going to be an absolute shootout.
What
The
is-
question is, can our defense stop any lead offense like
Yeah.
that in any factor? And if they can, then we win. If
What
they can't, then it's a shootout.
Sorry.
Who knows?
what do people in the chat think about the rankings? Any comments about that? I can't see anything.
Everyone's just saying how much they love Rick Hart.
Guys, come on, focus. We love Rick Hart. That's fine, but
Yeah, no, I think I agree with what George said about that. He's goated for getting us into the ACC. I don't care about too much else, especially right now. Okay, so but ultimately, here's the thing. I think the better question is, what's our path to get into the at-large bid? If we lose in the championship game, is there a path for us to get in?
I don't
No.
think so.
I think they've already made up their mind.
Which
that
is
they don't like the
stupid.
ACC.
Which is
It's
stupid.
bonkers.
I
The
think
Big
there is
12.
a
Talking about
Hail Mary
three
shot.
loss Georgia team. They're
This would be my Hail Mary shot, is if we are winning in Miami and there is a fluke play that they score at the end of the game and win. If we are beating Miami and they get a fluke play that wins them the game, then people will look at us and they'll say, dang, SMU is the better team, but they got unlucky. Like if that happens, I think that's our outside shot. Other than that, I don't think it's possible. But I think if that happened, we actually have a shot at it.
Here's the thing is, so I don't remember what episode this was, but it was a little while ago. I was talking about how, we were talking about if we think the ACC is trash or not, basically. And I said
as a conference,
I said that I think the ACC is good, or no, actually I said I think the ACC is trash because we have teams that are dominating. I had a whole bit planned in my head for this, and it totally has just gone off the rails. Well, let me just restart here. Okay.
Go for it. We're going to take it. Restart it.
People have been saying, I said several weeks ago that the sign of a strong conference is one where teams are beating each other and you don't just have one or two teams that just completely run the table.
Not the Big Ten.
Right? What I didn't take into account was that rule only applies to the Big Ten and the SEC. It doesn't apply to anyone else. In fact, all the other conferences, if you have teams that are beating each other and you don't have two powerful teams, your conference is garbage. Or if you have one or two teams that completely run the board, your conference is also garbage. If it's not the SEC or the Big Ten.
I just think that for those two it doesn't matter because the Big Ten, they have a few teams that are just killing everyone. And we have a winning record against the Big Ten, by the way.
Preach.
ACC does. And Big Ten is still considered a better conference than us, even though their conference has 4 teams and everyone else is trash. And so it doesn't matter. And then the SEC is beating each other up. So either way, it doesn't matter. It's just they're just going to be favored.
Well, I don't think any of us.
Matter.
I don't think any of us are naive enough to think that the ACC is a better conference than the SEC or the Big Ten.
I think we are generally as a conference better than the Big Ten.
But
if you put all of our teams
said,
lined up, I think we'd have more wins.
But as you said, there's 3 weeks of the season left, and like you said, they've already decided that ACC and Big 12 are one-bid leagues. Like that's just ridiculous.
You're telling me that if BYU loses to Colorado in a nail biter, BYU's not getting in the playoffs?
That would be BS.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not a BYU fan.
Yeah.
And I will only be a BYU fan when it's, beneficial for us. But like that would make me very frustrated to know that we're going to the 12-team playoff to prevent situations like, hey, this team is excellent. Like a Georgia last season. Georgia last season probably deserved to be in the playoffs, but they weren't able to because they lost in the SEC championship game. So you're going to punish the team who loses in the conference championship game.
By the way, they specifically said they wouldn't do that. The College Football Playoff Committee said that they wouldn't punish teams for making the championship game because they were pushing so hard that championship games matter. This was like a couple years ago.
Right.
And they literally will punish you if you do it. Like they said that when they started pushing all this a couple years ago, and they will punish you for losing.
And so it goes back to that question: is if there was the 3-way tie for the top of the ACC still, like, would you rather be the second or third team? Right? Would you rather win, lose, or be that third team that got left out? And I'm like, now that what I'm hearing from the actual playoff committee, it's like I'm thinking that I may rather be the team that got left out. It's like they didn't get their shot. I mean, I don't know.
I still think it wouldn't matter.
Amy says, "Preach, Ben."
Thank you, Amy. But what I also thought was really, really like fired me up was the fact that he being the Michigan AD, who's the head of the playoff committee, he compared Boise State's Nevada win to ours. That was the first week of the season. We struggled. We barely beat them. It's week 10. It was week 9 when they beat Nevada. They won by 7. Nevada is terrible.
That's bad.
And I'm like, how can you compare week 1 when everybody's kind of, not, I mean, the players talk about that.
That's what RDJ
versus
not
like
week 1, not week 1, week 0.
Week 0. And Boise State is playing their best football right now and barely beat Nevada. How can you compare those two? That's just
RDJ said
nonsense.
He talked about that because we asked about the Nevada game, what the difference is between. Actually, I asked that.
Yeah.
But the difference between that team week 0 and us now, and he said that week 0 you don't have an identity. Your team doesn't have an identity yet, and people aren't comfortable with where they're playing. Everyone's moving spots. You don't even have your starting lineup figured out. We had 2 different quarterbacks that we were choosing between. He said that the difference is that now we have an identity and everyone is playing. Everyone's comfortable in their position. They know what their responsibilities are, and they're playing to the best of their abilities now. It's wildly different. Yes, Boise State's win over them is trash compared to our win over Nevada.
Yeah.
And then also, like,
Change my mind.
For example, you're going to take in, like, I don't think they care about who we beat or how we're winning, because like Clemson barely beat Pitt with their Pitt's backup, whereas like we destroyed them with their starter. But like it doesn't matter. Like it's like they don't. I think somebody said this. Like they're not even watching us play. Like
Yeah,
They're just
crazy.
hypocrites.
They're down the road. Like, come on.
But you could
over,
see the
watch a
scores
game.
and think, wow, they're dominating everybody they play except for Duke, and Duke's a good team. I mean,
And let's
and Boston College.
there was
is
and let's
a
talk
good
about
team.
what else. Like, this is what Rhett was saying this week. Is like when we beat up on each other in the internally in the ACC, it means we suck. But like
When the
you said,
SEC does
when the
it,
SEC
yeah.
does it, it means they're amazing.
great.
They're all
Yeah.
good.
Means So let's all bow down to the SEC anyway. But like today, Stanford beat Louisville. Louisville's a great team.
Great team.
And a great team that took us to the wire, took
And they
Miami to the wire,
Beat Clemson.
Beat Clemson.
Clemson,
Yeah.
and they just lost to Stanford.
And we destroyed
is-
Stanford.
And so,
But it
this
doesn't,
is-
it's
this
not
is
going to
the thing,
matter. It's
though,
going to
is
hurt
that-
us.
When teams play just games that are just grueling and you beat up on each other, you come into your following week and that happens. Teams drop games because you get beat up by other big good teams, Power 4 teams. When you play Power 4 on Power 4 a lot, well, you just get beat up a lot. And that's how Louisville, they just played 3 just absolutely brutal games against us, against Miami,
Yeah.
against Clemson. They're bound to be banged up. Like, even if their players aren't injured and out, like, I mean, you just took 3 beatings,
And
even if you won one.
I swears, if they bring up this week in the rankings, if we drop or something, that we don't have a ranked win technically anymore. Well, your number 3 team, Texas, does not currently have a ranked win. So if they dare bring that up, I don't know what I'm going to do, but I'm going to break something in my house. So just- Lauren, if you're listening, put away all the glass, because
I like how Ben's
Something
threatening
will
the
be-
playoff committee by breaking something in his own house. He's like,
Yeah.
hey, guys,
Okay.
I will break.
You're right.
Get out the
Let's-
paddings for
Let's
the
go to the
wall.
Big 12 headquarters or the hotel that they meet, and I will throw an egg at a window.
yeah.
That's it. I won't break anything. I'll break an egg.
All
For any
right.
officers listening, we're not going to do that. We're not committing any crimes.
I want
Is that a
to.
crime.
I want to
Put an
ask you
egg at a
guys:
building?
do you think the
Maybe.
12 teams in the playoffs should be the 12 best teams
Oh.
or the 12 most deserving teams? Because I think there's a big difference in
There
what
is a
those
big
teams-
difference
Yeah. I
between those.
I don't
It
I
has to be most deserving.
I think deserving is fine.
Even though-
because I think the 12 best teams
is very subjective.
is very subjective. You could say the same for deserving, but
Maybe
I
a
feel
little
like,
bit less.
I feel like
subjective.
deserving team is more storyline based.
deserving. Okay.
because it's
some
based on
degree.
chapters of what you've completed, what you've done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Versus best team, I feel like that I think deserving team is easier to decide
Yeah.
than best team.
Well, Josh
Yeah,
Pate talked about if you just wanted to pick the best teams, a lot of the input would be based on your recruiting classes and what athletes you have there. He's like, well, then why even play the games? Why not have a 12-week
Yeah.
bye and just bring the 12 best rosters into the playoffs?
right.
Like, if you're
And
gonna do
Florida
that.
State would be in.
Florida State might be in there because they actually have some of the
Oh
best.
wait, actually no, they're
Oh, wait, they're 1
in-
and 9.
Yeah.
Like,
Or basing it on like the eye test. Like
yeah.
somebody can look really, really good, and if they lose a game, they lost. It doesn't matter how they look; they lost.
right.
And that's
Yeah,
why
Georgia
like,
has lost twice. I hate to break it to you, and,
maybe
they're tied right
and
now.
maybe 3 times.
Yeah. And
like it has to be a balance to some extent though, guys. Like, I mean, part of your resume needs to be like based on it needs to be most deserving, but it needs to be like if you pick really hard games and you win most of them, but you drop one versus a team that doesn't play any hard games, we can't incentivize teams to not pick good games.
Yeah, that's fair.
Otherwise, we're going to have 12 cupcake games, and then 12 teams with 12 wins are going to
Right.
go into the playoffs.
I've already heard
So-
like the SEC saying, maybe we should only play like 6 conferences.
Yeah, they're not. They're already talking about not playing any other big teams in their non-conference games. They're going to pick teams that are just complete cupcakes. FCS seems like Alabama just played Mercer. Like
Right.
Hey, Mercer was 9-1.
they
Come
were.
on.
So should they be in the playoffs? No, I mean
Yes.
like we have to.
Yes.
There has to be a balance between it, but it has to be most deserving. And like teams
I
like
agree.
Texas,
I agree.
no offense to Texas, and I'm not saying that we're better. Like Ben said, what I'm saying is that you have to build a resume that's better than our resume to get in. That's what you should have to do.
Yeah.
And if your resume is not going to be better, you should not get in. Incentivize good games and win them.
I think it should be most deserving. I also like the next 5 spots are filled. And that's the way that the playoff is built. The playoff is built, at least the way it was sold to us as a 12-team playoff, is built on the most deserving teams. That's why the group of 5 champion gets in.
Yeah.
Because
Like,
everyone,
that's
yeah,
because
there's
they're
always, like, the
deserving.
UCF
Like,
of the world.
Cincinnati deserves to be in.
That,
You know, last year we would have deserved. Well, Liberty would have deserved to be in.
No. Don't you dare.
But like, I mean,
That
that's
was-
what the
that was
playoff committee.
ridiculous.
I love
thought.
watching them get destroyed.
But if it's the best teams, why structure the playoffs like that? It's like why give a a better seed to a team. Like why don't like right now it should be Oregon 1 seed, Ohio State 2 seed, Texas 3 seed, and Penn State. Oh my gosh, we haven't even talked about Penn State. Penn State's the biggest joke in college football right now. It's like they have played nobody. We would be 8-1 against their schedule. It's like they've played nobody other than Ohio State, who they lost to.
Yeah,
Is at home.
They always lose to Ohio State.
Yeah, and great job game day. Good choice going to that game. Wow, we didn't know what was going to happen
And the
there.
third Georgia game and the second Tennessee game. Nice work, people.
Yeah, excellent.
Yeah.
Anyway,
just keep pumping the SEC.
Did we just decide to burn the world down?
Guys, we're angry.
but
I'm angry.
I'm not angry.
But you know what? We won. We won.
But
Let's
I'm
come
just
back to
saying
that.
is like
I
if
am
we
angry,
wanted the college football playoff to be the best teams, like we wouldn't have structured it this way.
And there's no
It's
point in playing the
structured
games
for the
like
most
you said.
deserving teams.
Yeah, just have 12 buys.
If it's the best teams, then what's the
Right.
point in playing? Because no matter how much we win, you don't give us any respect. So
And
it doesn't
so-
matter.
Does the third place team in the SEC probably deserve to be in? I would think so. But the fourth, the fifth place team, I don't think so.
Let's
They
say
shouldn't be
maybe.
in the
We can't
conversation.
assume right now. Like it's already like okay, 4 SEC bids, 4 Big Ten bids, 1 and 1 and 1. It's like, how can we already know before the season's
Yeah.
finished? That doesn't make any
Yeah.
sense.
Mm-hmm.
Back to the comments. Joel wants a clarification. So, what would be the mental gymnastics y'all think they would make to justify keeping SMU out if we win out but lose the championship game?
We have a low strength of schedule.
If they said they won't penalize the championship game loss,
I have no idea.
They'll just say that they would have left us out if we didn't make the championship game either way. Their
They
strength of schedule is just not enough because we play in a group of 5 conference. Oh, I'm sorry. Wait, are we in a power conference? They don't know. But
It's basically the
yeah.
power 2 at this point. Like, let's
yeah,
be real.
they're treating the ACC now
And the Big
way that
12.
they treat, and the Big 12. Although the Big 12's, I would say the Big 12 is weaker, but it doesn't matter. They're both, they're treating both the conferences like they're group of 5 conferences.
And let's not forget how the money of the college football playoff is distributed. Do you know who gets the money? If you host a college football playoff game, do you know who gets the ticket money for
not
that?
the team.
Not the team. The team doesn't. If SMU hosts a playoff game, like we don't run the tickets for that. The college football playoff,
they sell the tickets.
they sell the tickets.
is
They
We
get
get all the
money.
concessions.
Yeah.
So they want games
but,
with
like,
big
Hey, I mean,
crowds is what it
they're
sounds
selling pony
like.
pills for like $12-$14.
Yeah, they
so-
wouldn't make very much money if we were an at-large bid. So let's.
Yeah.
Let's
And I don't
that
think
up. Not
we're in a
incentivized
position to
to host.
host.
Yeah.
But anyway,
Also, Brian says Bill Armstrong 100% going to crash out if that happens.
Oh,
if we make it lose and then don't get.
Yeah, what's going to be the reverse of I almost peed myself a little bit? Like,
uh,
it's probably something
I don't
with
know.
a lot of
I
expletives.
was so mad that I peed myself. Jack Murphy, his score prediction for Florida State is Florida State 10 by week 21.
good call. Good call.
That's a good-
I could see that.
I would
one.
put money on that for
Yeah.
sure.
One.
I think that just went final, right? Florida State just lost to the bye week.
Yes.
I think
Yeah,
so.
yeah.
Yeah.
They're now 1-10.
By the way, Boise State is going to beat San Jose State. Wow, what a quality win.
Oh man. All right, we've been going for over an hour. We said we we're
Yeah.
gonna keep this to 45 minutes.
We did get a voice memo.
Oh yeah,
Oh yeah,
Oh, yeah.
let's do that.
All right. Let's pull it.
but while we're waiting for this, if you'd hit the like button, for those of you who are still watching, hit the like button. Make sure you're
Subscribe.
subscribed.
Yeah.
And then go over to Instagram, and you can find out where to leave your own voice memo. So
Yeah.
so that next week you can be on
Instagram, Spotify, yeah, just anywhere you listen to us, basically, you can find the voice memo. All right, here we go.
Hey guys, Hulker Waris here. Just wanted to drop
love this
another
guy.
voice memo.
Bro, this guy keeps calling us.
I just gotta say, making a voice memo is so easy and so cool. I mean, it's really cool. Again, I said it earlier, but I feel like I gotta say it again because it's such a cool feature and cool thing that you guys do in your podcast.
It is
But being
pretty
able to hear my
unique.
voice
Thanks,
on
Hawker.
the
He's right.
podcast, get to talk to you guys, get to ask you questions.
It's very
I think
recognizable
that's
voice.
super cool.
What are you talking about?
But anyways, I just wanted to ask, what has been your favorite game of the season so far?
It's a good
Uh,
question.
Oh, that's
Give
easy
me
for
any of them.
me.
Just want to hear from each one of you. What's been your favorite
Texas
game?
Commonwealth
Thank you.
University.
Bye.
Yeah, it's that school over there in Fort Worth watching. Oh yeah,
This one, baby. This one.
that one.
The Iron Skillet has. by
I
far
was
been my
I was
favorite game.
front row on the visiting side, and I got to be probably 10 feet away as Cloudy Dykes
You can
like
call him
walked
Sonny,
by
we're
as
heels.
as he was getting waved out of the stadium.
Mm.
It was amazing. It was hilarious.
It
It
was
was one of the
beautiful.
funniest things I've ever seen. Like any football ever.
Yeah,
It was great.
I gotta say that was my favorite too.
A little bit. It was sort of.
Oh, you messed it up, Jay.
Dang it.
I kind of peed a little bit. It was sort of.
Yeah. TCU game was by far
Did I
the
say
best
that?
game.
Yeah.
FSU was a sweet game too, but it's just that if we beat TCU, honestly, if we didn't have Sonny Dykes get thrown out of the game the way that he did, I don't know if it would be number one. It would probably be pretty close to FSU.
Yeah.
But him getting thrown out literally made this the most iconic game
Yeah.
ever in the rivalry.
I was gonna say I think like TCU's great. If I had to not pick TCU, I would pick Florida State.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just because of like
That Pitt game was pretty fun.
You should
Yes.
rephrase saying TCU is great because they're not. That TCU sucks. But yes, the game was a great game.
yeah, like the Florida State game, I think just the significance of it. In some ways,
I feel they're
so
bad-mouthing.
the TCU game personally was the most significant, but in the school's history,
Florida State was
Florida
very
State game was the most significant.
Pitt game was historical as well.
Yeah.
Go back to the 80s.
I think for me, the reason why I enjoyed Florida State was because of how much crap they talk and how arrogant Florida State fans are. To just beat them into submission to the point where I almost felt bad for them. It's like that's how bad the game was. It's like they didn't exist anymore. We ruined them. It was over.
And it's time to finish. Jay's kicking us out.
Yeah.
Of the fun
On a
library,
positive
it's
note,
Ben's apartment.
On a positive note, we won today, even
Yeah.
though there's a lot of anger at the end. We won.
Yeah.
Let's keep winning and we'll
No,
be in.
I think a
Let's
very
do it.
successful day.
Yeah, sure.
Excited. Yeah, keep
Our
winning.
goal
you're
is
in.
the ACC champ right now. That's our goal.
As much as I want to complain about the college football playoff right now, it's like if you win the rest of your games, you're national
Yeah.
champions.
Let's
So
get it.
That's the best way.
Let's ride, ponies.
Let's ride, ponies. Heck yeah. And why don't you ride your way down to the like button, the subscribe button, and then go follow us on Instagram. But until next week, let's pony up, baby.
Pony
Let's
up.
go. Let's
Have
go.
a great week.
Have a great week of worship.